What the fuck is up, people? It's Bread and Circuses. It's your boy Caleb Salvatore here.
And Nick Kohler on a football Sunday here.
Sunday.
I just got done watching the Eagles game and we just lost to the Vikings. So I feel pretty bad. It's pretty depressing.
I was listening to a Patriots podcast at work while I worked on something in the back the other day.
Yeah.
And one of my coworkers comes up to me and goes, "You didn't strike me for the religious type." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She thought I was listening to like a Bible study thing. I was like,
"Oh shoot!" If you didn't know what you were listening to, sometimes the sports stuff kind of sounds like it. You know,
they have their soft NPR voice and they talk like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, are those guys the guys you were listening to? Were they out of Boston or what?
They're like the official media for the Patriots, so it's like the Chinese government state-run media. So
but the Boston government's
but they're not from there. Like one of them's from like Illinois. They're all from all over the place. Like it's like media.
You ever notice that with a lot of the official broadcasters and everything, they take a lot of people out of the Midwest since we don't have any of those accents. Yeah. Wait. Well, we kind of do, but like we have like when people think of American accents, they think of like people from the Midwest.
Oh,
no, not Texas.
You're talking about like the stereotypical American.
They think of like the Midwest, like
it's because our accent is no accent.
Yeah, well, it's still kind of an accent. Like,
is it?
I don't know if there's like a standard English. You know what I mean? Like, I had somebody try to tell me one time that like, English isn't like other languages where like English has, it's pretty standard across the board. And I'm like, dude, have you ever like been to a place where you've listened to somebody from Australia speak or like even somebody from like England or something? Man, some of them people you can't understand.
Yeah, I had a guy from England I talked to one time. He was like, he's like, the
bad jelly beans.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, dude, what are you saying?
A bit about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, it's pretty funny.
And actually, what somebody told me about that was about Spanish, because Spanish has a lot of different dialects and everything. Well, kind of like just because like people in Colombia would speak Spanish differently than people in like Mexico. El Salvador, Mexico, or even El Salvador and Mexico is different. And I'm just like, well, yeah, English is the same. I mean, you go to somewhere like down in the South, somebody speaking some English from Louisiana or something, it's like kind of hard to understand them too.
They don't speak English.
Boomhauer,
everyone is Boomhauer.
Yeah, pretty much. Boomhauer is still speaking English, even though it's just Boomhauer English.
Boomhauer's dialect.
Yeah.
Well, but of course, then you go to Council Bluffs where they just howl like gorillas.
Yeah.
You go, "Hi, how are you?" And they go,
That's not English.
No, that's Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
And that's the whole other uncivilized part of the country over there. So,
yeah. This kind of the same thing. English is not universal across the board, but I think the best sounding English comes from the Midwest. So.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
They get all the
Minnesota.
They get all the national. Well, I think. Don't they? No, they don't consider Minnesota.
But they're Midwest, but they're very north. They're kind of like North Dakota. They have that Canadian tinge to their accent.
Like they're talking like this up there.
Even Wisconsin does. Too.
Wisconsin talks like this.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my best buddies in the Army when I was in was this like he was like a weird combination of like a surfer California dude, but like he was from Wisconsin. So he'd be like, "Oh, that's fucking balls, dude."
Oh my god,
that's how he would talk, man.
That would drive me nuts.
It was cool. He was a cool guy.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's fucking tits, bro. Oh yeah.
That's fucking great.
That's how he talked, man. He was a cool guy.
I'm sure he was. Did you see that they had the town hall for the Democratic debate?
No.
The other day, the LGBTQ plus LG barbecue.
Well, what'd they say?
Town hall. They it was the typical clown show you were gonna expect from that, but it was this like woman grabs the microphone. "What have you done for trans black women?" Screaming at her, and it was at him. Who was on? I want to say it was Beto was on stage.
Oh,
so of course he had to pander to her.
Beto or
Yeah, exactly. And then there was another one that came on, and we're gonna say she for this because I disagree. Like, I don't have a problem with the transgender thing, but when you start involving little kids is where I draw the fucking line. I'm a 9-year-old transgender boy. No, you have abusive parents who have brainwashed you.
Yeah.
You're not a 9-year-old transgender boy. Because I didn't fucking think about that shit when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You notice that those kind of kids only come from like the real hippie extremist parents. So.
Because the parents are the ones that are like, oh,
Usually
are you
just-
sure?
Usually just one parent.
Right, yeah. The mother.
Most of the time. Yeah.
But I mean,
Notice
seriously.
a little coalition or a little thing with that?
What's that?
Notice
the correlation.
A correlation
Yeah.
with that? Yeah.
Well, that's my thing is it's like I said, man, I don't have any, like, if you're a consenting adult, shit, even if you're like a teenager in high school and you think you're a woman trapped in a man's body, more power to you. Go do your thing.
Yeah.
Right? But a 9-year-old,
I've always really taken concern with the fact that like trans people like are lumped in with the same boat as gay people. I know there's a lot of gay
that's
people
the
that
Dave
think that
Chappelle
too.
bit
Yeah, or it's just like Dave Chappelle talks about that too.
in the stand-up.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm
he's
just like,
talking about he's like he groups up all the letters. He's like, they're all their own movement. They're just in the same car.
yeah, it's like I don't know why. Like I could get it why they do it because they're trying to like get more people on board. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like when you think of somebody who's trans or somebody who is like thinks they're asexual or something, you know what I mean? Like one of those type of one-offs.
Yeah.
And they're like lumped in the same camp as like just a gay guy or something like that.
Right.
I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks for the gay dude.
I know,
like,
right?
Because the gay dude, like that's like not uncommon. You know what I mean? Like being a gay, like just a regular,
fuck men,
yeah, just being a regular gay
then,
person is not that crazy.
And then you've got this dude or
you've
woman
got a
or
furry.
whatever, and furry.
You've got an asexual furry trans
sitting
person
in the corner saying, if you don't want to date trans women, you're a transphobe. Well, shit, call me a fucking transphobe.
Yeah.
I like my women without penises. Sorry. Like, I don't know what
yeah,
you want
man.
me
And
to
then
say.
you've just got like the normal gay dude just like sitting there like, man, I'm not the same type of person as that.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was like what the Dave Chappelle thing
Yeah.
said was he's like, the T's are just sitting in the car and they're just looking out the window. They don't say anything, but everybody fucking hates them.
Yeah.
And, he goes, and they'll speak up. They'll be like, it's hot in here. And everyone turns around, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, like it's totally weird just because it lumps like people like that are so uncommon just with like lesbian and gay dudes and even like bisexual people. Yeah, like those three kinds of people are like those are they're just like, it's just another thing, you know what I mean? It's like if it was back how it was before, it was just like LGB.
Right.
Like I think
is that what it used to be? I don't even remember
LGB.
that.
It literally used to just be LGB community because it was the lesbian, gay, and bisexual community.
Which is a step up from the 1950s where it was just called illegal.
Yeah,
So-
or it was called like the electroshock therapy or something. Then for some reason, they just lumped all the trans people in with it. And even though like according to trans logic, if you want to go date or fuck a trans woman, right? Like a guy that's being like dressing up like a girl and is like calling himself a girl and everything, then that's straight. Like it's not gay. And it's like, well, then why are you lumped in the same group as gay people?
That's the thing. It confuses me. It makes my head hurt. It's like talking about the multiverse theory.
It's not consistent logic.
Right. Well, and I've always loved, because I keep seeing people, even more and more now, if you won't date a trans woman, you're a transphobe. Like, what? Like, why? What? So, like,
they're just butthurt. That's why.
Right.
You heard that one song where it's just hose mad? Hose mad. That's all that is.
Are we going to call? Okay. I'll stop bashing them. That's just punching down. But,
yeah, I know, right?
But seriously,
that's my only problem. I don't have any problem with trans people.
No, I don't either.
I'm just I'm just like pointing out, like, man, it's kind of like unfortunate. And I think
but why? That's the thing is like,
it's
why
not the same thing.
No, like, why do you feel that you're entitled to me being attracted to you? Maybe I just don't like dicks.
That's the same logic as the state issued girlfriend guys from like the neckbeard incels. Like,
do they want
the same level of argument.
They want state issued girlfriend.
That's like a meme argument. They'll say that in like just jokingly, but it's like the same level of argument. You know what I mean? Like,
could you imagine if they did have state issued girlfriends though?
That's like some people say on the internet just as like a joke,
Right.
like the incels, like it's not even actual incels that say it. It's like people like
that make fun of them,
putting words in incels' mouths.
So
like as an argument.
I have a question.
Tongue
So
in cheek.
with the state-issued girlfriend, would that be like the democratic socialism model, where if you want a better girlfriend, you can go out and get one, or would it be like the communist model, where everyone's got a 3?
I don't know. Now we're getting into the real discussion on this.
These are the semantics of the issue that I think need to be addressed before we go any further on before we vote.
It's probably like the government standard would be like a 3, but
you could go out and upgrade.
You would have to. I mean, like when you think about it, man, there's really not that many like 2s and 3s out there. Like there's a lot of girls out there that are just like 6s, 5, 6, 7, like the middle, obviously there's most people out there are like, like you never have any trouble with like a 6 or 7. And honestly, most of the time 6 or 7s have like way better personalities than 9 and 10s.
Right.
Like most of the time. I'm not like blanketing that across anything, but it's like there's a lot of girls out there that
to be a 2 or a 3, and that's as a man or a woman.
Yeah,
I think like you have to like actively make a concerted effort not to take care of yourself.
Yes,
like it completely all aspects of your life. I'm not talking just your appearance. Like you don't do anything. Right.
There's a lot of people out there that don't give themselves enough credit, man. They think they're a 3 or 4, but really they're like a 6 or 7, and like a 6 or a 7 is like. That's pretty regular person,
right?
You know what I mean,
yeah.
It's like the kind of people that are like 6 or 7s are like the kind of people you would like you wouldn't notice in a crowd, right? I mean? Like they're just like they're just
look at them and
like not really that memorable, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
But I think the scale's subjective to a lot of things.
That's true, yeah.
I think the most important thing, the number one thing it's subjective to is like whose scale is it?
Exactly.
Everyone's got
100%. Yeah.
And then number 2, the second most important factor is how many drinks has that person had?
Not always. I actually never really get beer goggles, man. Like I'm pretty consistent, even if I'm just like trashed.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty consistent across the board with what I like. Like it could be little stuff too, like whether or not the girl has like then this speaking strictly from a straight guy's perspective, right? Like whether or not a girl has like curly hair or glasses or something like that. You know what I mean?
Like curly hair, dude.
No, I'm just saying like a guy might like that versus a guy that doesn't. So that would, that bump a girl up 2 or 3 points.
Super exact.
Yeah, exactly.
You're super specific.
No, not necessarily me, but I know there's definitely guys out there that don't like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Guys that are like super specific.
Yeah, for hell yeah.
Why you're gonna die alone.
There's guys out there that are like, oh, never date a redhead. It's like, are you serious, man? Like, why not? Yeah, there's some fucking cute ass redheads out there.
That's my thing. Is I've never I've never understood being attracted to a hair color. I'm like, as long as it's not fucking gray or one of those weird artificial colors that looks like she's going to accuse me of rape when we break up in 3 months.
Namely like blue.
Blue.
Nobody has a natural blue hair color. You know what's funny though about the colored hair? From what I know or what I've noticed or understand, like Asian girls have always done that shit. Like they've done that stuff
That's
for
like a cultural
for
thing,
a really long time. Yeah, especially
that's
Japanese and Korean girls,
like American girls do.
Oh yeah, though a lot of them are not obnoxious, but
dyeing your hair isn't obnoxious. It's like, I mean, because people dye their hair colors all the time.
Yeah,
but I think dyeing it bright pink and like that.
No, you know what? Not even dyeing it dyeing it type pink. I don't really have any issue with anybody dyeing their hair. It's more of like that thing where it's correlation is not causation. But a lot of obnoxious bitches out there have fucking dyed hair.
If you have blue or green hair, you're probably insufferable. Like
that's all I will say is just there's a lot of obnoxious ass girls out there that have dyed like green, yellow, blue, or green like blue hair,
and they all work at Zoomies.
Yeah. I've never really known any girl that worked like retail or anything, or like a retail store like that in the mall or anything. My wife used to work retail, but she worked retail like
a fine retail.
Yeah, like a cosmetics, like a 5-star cosmetics type store.
Did you ever work retail?
I mean, not.
And I'm not talking like banking retail. I'm talking like,
no, not really, because I joined the army and then I started working there. Yeah,
so I worked retail in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Target. They paid me $7.75 an hour.
Fuck Target,
50
man.
cents above minimum wage. I was like 16.
My older brother.
Push fucking carts.
My older brother used to work. My older brothers worked for like pretty much every like major retailer out there,
Right.
and like he says Target's the worst one to work for.
Target's a horrible place to work. That place is where dreams go to fucking die.
Have you seen those YouTube videos where dudes dress up in red
Yes.
shirts and act like Target employees?
Dude, my brother and I we always planned every year. We're like, we're gonna do this on Black Friday. We never did.
Oh, I think we should do it and film it, man. That'd be
We
really
should.
funny.
On
Like,
Black Friday.
yeah.
We might get shot if we do it on Black Friday.
Why would people shoot us at Black Friday, dude? What the fuck?
we need to?
I don't think people would shoot
How
us.
can we
man.
go about recording? We get like the Lavealer? Or
Something
however
like
they pronounce
that. Yeah,
mics.
maybe get a friend to like film and off to the
Yeah.
side or
Yeah,
something.
we get Zach to do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Zach's pretty noticeable because he's got like his kilt and
Yeah,
shit.
Zach can stick out. They're like, why is this guy in a kilt here?
Yeah, why is this? Zach will be wearing a kilt and like one of his fucking like fuck the government t-shirts or something. Yeah. Like Zach will stick out.
Yeah, we might have to
He'll
get
go up to him and be
someone
like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm not doing anything. What are you
else.
talking
Like
about?
Jordan or Jesse don't stick out.
Yeah.
as much. They would be okay. Shit, even like my girlfriend, she likes to go to Target anyway, but I'm worried that she would like get distracted while we were doing it.
Or
and
she'd
start
get
buying
scared
shit.
or something. Like
Not
somebody come
scared.
up to her and be like, hey, what are you doing?
Ma'am,
She's
you
like,
need to leave.
She like runs. That's what the film is her running out of the store.
That's what I want to do though. Is I want to like people come up and ask me for like where something is. It's like in electronics, and I like take them to fucking like the produce aisle. or something.
I take everybody over to the toy aisle and be like, this is what you really need,
This
man.
is
Like
what
pull
you
off
need.
like a Lego action figure or some shit. Like, yeah, this is what you need, man.
Just
Let's
like-
get the job done.
Play on your fucking phone. And
Yeah.
shit like that while people are talking. It's
Dude,
like, bro, let me finish this text here.
Do that shit where they say something instead of like acting like I didn't hear them, just going, huh? Like,
What?
Not even say the rudest way I think they do is just going, huh?
Excuse me? Go ahead.
People get so fucking mad at that,
When
man.
they- when they
I would
go,
get mad at that.
Excuse me, do you
Yeah. Roll your eyes.
roll your eyes? What?
Yeah, no, how about excuse you? How about
Yeah.
that, huh?
I have a friend. We went to Raising Cane's one time.
Yeah.
You know how they make their employees say the like catchphrase at the beginning.
What is it?
They go, "What's kicking? You want some chicken?"
I didn't know
We
that.
pulled up.
When
yeah,
they start doing that.
they have for a while. We pulled
Really?
up. And we're in the drive-through. They go, "What's kicking? You want some chicken?" And my friend goes, "What?" He's like, "Can you say that again? I didn't hear you." She goes, "How can I help you?"
I must hate saying that.
Oh, I would hate.
I
saying
don't know
that,
if
too.
I don't know if necessarily Raising Cane's is known to have really good like retail or really good like polite staff like
Not like
Chick-fil-A is. Yeah,
But I
Chick-fil-A.
mean, shit, there, man. They just drive a truck through the fucking wall, and
Oh, that's only here. That's not the Chick-fil-A employees though. That's just
No,
boomer
it's
fucking
yeah.
customers.
Boomers.
Yeah, boomer customers are the only ones that drive cars through fucking buildings, dude.
So he had so I had learned a little bit more about this. They had released more information after that happened. Just
Yeah.
some follow up.
And if nobody has listened yet, let's
God.
let's give them a little backdrop on it.
Some guy freaked out at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
They kicked him out.
a
So he-
55-plus-year-old guy, right?
yeah, of course, a boomer.
Yeah.
So he drove his truck through the building. This was in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is about 45 minutes from us.
Yeah.
And he pulled out a taser, tried to tase the cop, and the cop shot him that was there on lunch. So
Mhm.
died over a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, where's
So-
Where's all the national media trying to protect this guy, trying to shame this cop? Huh?
Right. Well, the cop told him to stop, and he fucking tased him.
That doesn't
Like,
matter. They do that to in most cases of that.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's true. So he had this incident that he was pissed off about over a chicken sandwich happened a week prior to this incident.
Mhm.
So he was upset.
Damn, he was festering on it,
for
man.
a week.
Yeah, he was just sitting
wasn't
on it.
Like, because when I heard about it, I thought like, okay, he had a shitty day at work,
Yeah.
probably had a shitty week at work, went to Chick-fil-A, and this is the last straw. He just freaked the fuck out. He was
Mhm.
upset for a week straight because they fucked his order up. He was tweeting about it. Shit like, it's just a
completely.
fucking chicken sandwich.
Completely rational.
Completely irrational.
Yeah.
He his landlord had actually called the police on him for erratic behavior at his
Mm.
apartment complex.
And they didn't do anything about
The
it.
police came and he said something about he was preparing for the final mission. So that wasn't a big enough red flag for the Lincoln police to be like, you know what? Maybe we should hold this guy for 24 hours.
Maybe.
Like,
Those 24-hour holds, they usually don't go on records or anything, right?
No.
From what I understand, it's
no,
just
they
like
just
a
hold you there
preemptive.
for like so you don't fucking freak out and shoot up the mall
Yeah.
or
Getting in
Chick-fil-A
there
or
with
something.
like fucking Dave, the guy that just fucking beat up, like some
Right.
dude in a bar and he's
Right.
still drunk, and that's kind of a sobering moment for you if you're all pissed off there.
Right.
Because he's like, bitch, that's my seat.
Well, that's
in the
nothing
fucking
like-
holding tank.
Well, we talked yesterday about the shit in Fort Worth. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, just from what you told me, yeah.
They call the woman had her lights on and her door open at night, right, in her
Mhm.
house. So the neighbor called to check well-being. Cop showed up, knocked on, or I don't know if he knocked on the door or not, but he was snooping around in the fucking yard and saw her standing in the window and shot her because he thought she was a threat. He
Well,
shot her from her yard.
Did she die?
She's dead.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's why.
It's not a good escalation of force there, cop.
No.
Probably
What?
some rookie deputy or something out there.
Right. Like, was she pointing a rifle out the window? No. Like,
probably
she was,
not.
And even if she was, dude, I got someone snooping around my fucking yard at 3:00 in the morning. I got a right to stick a gun out my window at them. Like, I don't know what's going on. So, like,
God damn, what a jumpy ass police officer, man. He's just, so somebody in the window. Oh, fuck, man. There's definitely better quality cops. Yeah, that guy's giving good cops a bad name. That's absolutely right.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like, and so
sucks, man.
I cannot stress it enough. Fucking don't call check well-beings on people. Just don't fucking do it.
I wouldn't call it on somebody I
wouldn't call
didn't
the
know.
police
I wouldn't
on
call it
somebody
on
I
somebody I
didn't
didn't
know,
know. Yeah, I'd only call it on somebody I would knew personally. If like I hadn't seen like you in fucking 3 weeks, and I like come over here knocking on the door trying to find you weren't responding to phone calls or
Right.
anything, I'd probably call the police and be like, "Hey man, like Caleb's not answering the door. Like,
Right.
hey, I haven't heard from him in like 3
someone
weeks."
You know, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for all you know, like you fucking got electrocuted or shit, and you're like,
right,
you know,
like
you
a
know,
heart
what I mean?
attack and
Something like that.
slipped
Yeah,
in the shower and died or something like that.
yeah, I got a buddy that's a cop here in Omaha, and he tells me like fucking so much of their job is like getting into houses and like finding dead people that have been dead there for like 2 months.
like
man.
older people or
Just people in general.
was that
dude.
Tony that was on the show?
No,
earlier?
it wasn't
No.
Tony.
Okay.
It was one of my other buddies. You've met him before, but
Okay.
yeah, he was telling me like, dude, he's just like the nastiest things he's had to do on the job is like responding, like getting into
I'm
houses and like
Just
somebody's
like
been
people
dead
that have,
there.
like, died of natural causes
Or whatever, just like for 2 months, just been sitting there and decomposed and everything.
How
Yeah,
do
it's
you go
fucking
missing
gross.
for 2 months?
You have nobody that nobody
That's
friends
my
or
thing.
anything.
Like, if someone hadn't heard from me for 2 days, I'm pretty sure my door would be kicked.
Yeah,
in.
same
Like-
here, man. Probably at least somebody would. Yeah, if somebody would try to contact me or something. There's just fucking people out there that don't have any friends or family or anything, man.
Right. Like, that's my thing. Is it's like I'm pretty busy. I don't always get to my phone a lot, or I don't always get to my phone well. So they'd give me a day. But if a day
I at
went
least
by
try
and
to
they hadn't
respond to
heard from me,
texts within the next.
I try
day.
to get back to text within a day. I try to. I don't always. Sometimes they slip by.
I think most people are like that too. A lot of
Yeah.
people, especially our age, are just busy doing go, doing a lot of stuff.
Right.
Like, you got like a guy that's like, 45 plus years old and he's pretty much just burnt every bridge that he ever
Right.
had.
Yeah, he
and
is.
he just dies from like, I don't know, man, like kidney failure.
His
just
boss
like,
doesn't even call. Though.
hey, maybe he doesn't even have a boss, man. Maybe he's just like a self-employed type guy or something. Yeah, some people out there they don't have anybody that cares for him, man. It's kind of sad.
Who does care? The landlord when you're not paying your rent.
Yeah. Well,
They
that's honestly probably how most of those people get found.
Probably,
like dead
yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah, dude, that is
It's
sad.
really fucking sad.
It is, especially. Well, dude, if somebody like owns their home and they don't have to pay, or they have stuff on automatic pay, like that's even longer, man.
Yeah.
Human
shit.
body after like 2 months, dude, that's pretty gross. That's like you're carrying them outside of that building and their like arm just rips off because it's
Oof.
decomposed so much,
Does
man.
that happen?
Yeah, dude.
Oof.
That's what happens to
Gross.
human bodies when they've just been sitting there, man. They decompose, they decay. It's gross.
That's so nasty.
Yeah.
That's why The Walking Dead is just like illogical.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
That's why zombie attacks in general of that matter like don't really make a lot of. They're
I know,
just
like,
fiction.
seriously, like a zombie attack, like you waited out a year, all the zombies are gonna be dead. Like they're falling apart.
It's more of like the zombie attacks where it's like not even really zombies, just like people like mindless
like
people.
their brains go crazy.
Like 28 days later type people.
Like 28 days later, it was like some type of like mad cow or something.
It was like a virus, that just made people go.
not
really,
like the dead rising.
yeah,
No,
that one's
wouldn't-
not really. Those are like magical ones, like
Yeah, No,
Oh, we're getting into zombie theory here.
theory. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. Oh, and my computer just popped up something that said virus protection. Oh, it's listening.
Oh yeah, it is.
But yeah, no, it's
zombie computer.
Zombie computer. But that's like, there was some like study. Some university did a study about humanity's likelihood to survive like a 28 days later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Halloween time. We can talk about this.
Yeah, that's true.
28 days later scenario.
Yeah.
And it was like fucking minute, like less than 1%
of that we would survive, or that we would all die.
If we had zombies running, like we would not survive, like running zombies and stuff like that.
I don't know. The thing is I think people are so like they've seen the movies and everything they know. I don't think it would really be that crazy of a thing. I've actually read studies that say like there's not a lot of chance that anything would get that crazy.
I don't know, man.
People would respond to it. Like
people would respond to it, but like, so here's what happened. And this is how, like on The Walking Dead, everyone will how did the military fall, blah, blah, blah. So what happened in The Walking Dead was, and now I'm going to get super nerdy with you guys. So what happened?
I don't know if The Walking Dead is that nerdy. I mean, there's a lot of people that like The Walking Dead.
So no, but I'm going to get into the semantics of The Walking Dead. Because everyone, these are just walking zombies. How did the military fall? So what happened was, number one, the military... I mean, it was complete chaos. It was a complete outburst in Atlanta. You'd think they'd be used to dealing with bullshit.
Atlanta's actually where the CDC is.
Yeah, that's why it was there. That's why it took place there. So they walk into the hospital. They started shooting everybody, right? Because they thought all the sick people were contagious. They didn't know anything about it. They started shooting people, but when they killed people, even if they hadn't been bit, they would reanimate a zombie. So they'd clear through the top all the way up to the top of the hospital, come back down. They're fucking trapped both ways because all the people they shot in the beds and all the people they shot in the bed or downstairs and all the people they shot in the beds upstairs had cornered them. So that's how the military fell.
They had the entire military just got fucking capped by that. That's fucking dumb, dude.
That was
that would maybe get like one fucking platoon of people or something like that. That's like fucking 2% of the military.
It's still a little.
They got the whole military that way, even the Navy,
the Air Force.
Yeah, let's be real. They would have only got the Marines that way because the Marines are the only ones that respond to threats. They wouldn't have been able to stop the Marines. But that's why.
Like, what would you do? Like 28 days later situation. You see like fucking zombies just running outside. You see people outside your apartment getting ripped to shreds. I mean, like.
I just wouldn't go out of my apartment for a little while.
I'd like board my windows up.
I'd probably call in something like, I mean, like.
Oh, if I see people getting ripped to shreds, I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, I would go out in a suit of metal armor because ain't no zombie chewing through metal armor, dude. If they just knocked me over, they'd be all like, and I'm just like, well, now I'm just laying here for a little while until this thing gets tired. Like,
right. I don't think they get tired though. I don't know, man.
I'd have to. I mean,
I'd roll up with the AR. That's all. I just chill at the door. Be like, all right, let's do it. I'm on the second floor, man. They're not going to come through. Like that's.
I think a shotgun would probably be the best defense in zombies.
Against the zombie, you think so?
Yeah, I think so, man.
I don't know. I think it's like it's debatable because a shotgun, it's you're aiming for the head. Typically,
you don't even have to really aim with it. You can just
magazine capacity from an AR, like.
That's true, but you got to have a lot more dead point accuracy with an AR. You know,
that's true. That's true. My next gun purchase is going to be a VR 80.
What's that?
It's a semi-auto shotgun AR.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah.
It's a 12 gauge shotgun, dude. You
casually tags the ATF.
Hey, it's totally legal. Okay. But if it's made illegal, I will probably have lost it in a boating accident by the time that law gets passed.
Probably,
so
yeah.
No, they come with you can magazine capacity up to 19 rounds plus one in the chamber for a fucking shotgun.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, semi-automatic shotgun. I had my friend John has one of them, one like it, not the same thing. But
John's like, yeah, shut the fuck
up. That's not his real name. It's not actually John. But dude, I shot this fucking thing. I mag dumped with it, and there was bruises on my arm for a couple days.
I've shot rifles like that where I've shot like just dumb amounts of rounds through it, and like the bruise right here on like my little pocket there. Just like, I'm like tired of shooting.
Yeah, you're sore. Man. That's like, dude, I could go fucking 5,000 rounds in an AR, and I'd be. I could do
5,000 rounds through a pistol,
right? And be a little sore, but like, yeah.
I probably shot like 30 or 40 like full mags of AR, and like my I had like a legit bruise.
You probably bruised from that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wouldn't be like 5 rounds of a fucking 12 gauge.
Yeah,
boom,
that's
boom,
true.
boom, boom, boom.
If you got a little meaty pocket, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody
Somebody like a real bony like guy or something, or a chick or something. Yeah, somebody like Logan. Yeah.
Logan would get ripped in half by
Yeah.
that gun, just by the recoil of that gun.
Hey, I kind of wanted to touch on this just because it's something that's, I think something that's important, even though it's not a subject that a lot of people give a shit about.
More
but
important
like
than zombies.
Yeah, man. Well, the whole thing with Blizzard with China, dude, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
going away. People need to make sure this doesn't go away because it's Blizzard now, but next week it's fucking, I don't know, like Chevrolet or some shit, you know what I mean? Or some company like that everybody like actually cares about for the most part, instead of a video game company.
NBA. And I was wrong about the NBA. The only person that supported the NBA did not support the Houston Rockets general manager. It was just the commissioner came out and supported him, and it wasn't really that encouraging. So
yeah. Well, are they doing anything about it, or
they're kissing the ring?
Nice.
Yep.
Well, Blizzard, they've enacted their thing. They've changed their stance on it, right? And so this is what has happened so far in the last couple of days. So they've switched the ban on this guy that spoke out on the Hong Kong thing, right? They said he's getting his prize money, but he's going to have a 6-month ban, but he's still going to be able to compete in like the real grand finale world.
Why does he still have a 6-month ban?
Because he spoke out again on the official like Blizzard channel like for this, right? Okay. But here's the thing: is that Blizzard doesn't have an actual policy over like making political statements or anything. Right. And like people go on there and make political statements on that kind of stuff all the time. Like you'll see them wearing like the rainbow rainbow
and I guarantee
badges.
If they bash Trump,
they've done that before on games and stuff, and like they don't give a shit about it. But you start going against the Chinese overlords, and goddamn, you're fucking not doing that.
That's the thing people are saying about Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich, the coaches of the Warriors and the Spurs.
Yeah.
Those guys have no problem making political statements, bashing Trump. And it's like, you guys understand that China, like, I get America has its problems. Absolutely, we do.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the president myself, but
we're nowhere near as bad as China.
The stuff the Chinese government is doing makes America look like it's all fucking hugs and butterflies, man.
That's why people of Hong Kong still think like the USA is like a status of like democracy, right? And everything. You ask somebody in America if like we're a democracy, and they're gonna be like,
we need to be the America that Hong Kong protesters think we are.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
And we're not doing that right now.
The thing is like that guy that was protesting that for that Blizzard show thing, like that was his home country, man. Like
China?
Yeah, no, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is its own country.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Chinese government.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, and then Steve Kerr, they asked him about it in a press conference because I think they played a preseason game over there.
Yeah.
And because Steve Kerr's big anti-gun, like protest.
Is he really?
And everything. Yeah. And they asked him about it. He goes, yeah, no one's actually asked me about that. It's fucking bullshit. He's like, nobody seems to care about the Chinese government. You know what? Seems not like, or he goes, he said something along the lines of what the Chinese government's doing is nothing compared to people getting shot by AR-15s in the U.S.
How about like the police there actually shooting like their protesters with AKs,
with a lot bigger guns than AR-15s?
AK like live ammunition shooting protesters. Like imagine that happened in America, dude.
It'd be a fucking
Fucking
revolution.
imagine if that happened in America, dude.
You know why it wouldn't happen? Because we have the same fucking kind of guns as them.
Yeah.
So if they're going to start opening fire on the protesters, they better be ready to get shot back at.
Yeah.
That's why they wouldn't do it.
Yep. When's the last time like anything like that happened in America?
Kent State in the fucking 50s.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe like the 50s and 60s during like the civil rights protests and stuff. And like there's still people alive that can remember that right now. But that's still like there's a lot of people that can't. And China, that happened like last week.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So it's like a new thing.
It's happening in the world right now. So just just keep that into consideration.
Yep.
Say it could never happen.
Keep on the Chinese government. Don't ever say it.
I
we
implore.
too could have a president that looks like Winnie the Pooh.
That kind of shit is just like whatever. But I challenge people: do not let this go away over the weekend. Blizzard released the statement at like 5:30 Pacific time, Friday night, after the news cycle and everything, and it seemed like it came a statement from China's Blizzard.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a PR move to not let basically have it go away, right? People do not let it go away. Do not let this shit go away. You should not have American companies bowing down to foreign governments. Fuck no, dude.
Fuck no.
And
I don't care what you think of the president, right?
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with him.
It doesn't have anything to do with the president. It has something to do with the president of China,
right?
The
who nobody
dictator.
should like. The guy who, there's a picture of, is it Xi? How's it pronounced?
Xi Jinping.
Okay, so we're gonna call him Xi because I don't respect him and I want to fucking dead name him. So there's a picture of him bowing to a statue of Mao.
Yeah.
Could you imagine
somebody bowing to a statue of Hitler or Stalin or Pol Pot or something? They're all on the same level.
With Stalin, people would probably be cool with that.
Probably,
but
yeah. People that wear like Stalin T-shirts and stuff.
Right. Imagine who's the president of Germany?
Merkel.
Okay.
Or Angela Merkel or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. It's actually pronounced Merkel.
Okay. I don't know,
so
man.
Angela Merkel. Imagine her bowing to a statue of Hitler.
Fuck,
She'd be run out of office and probably shot in the fucking streets.
Well, not in Germany. Nobody has guns in Europe.
Hung in the streets.
Yeah, they'd be hit with a flip-flop. That's how fucking dangerous Europeans are, man.
Yeah, that's it. Well, the Europeans aren't the dangerous ones. It's the Muslim rape gangs.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Mainland Europeans in like Western Europe aren't dangerous at all, so she's not worried about that.
Well, that's another thing is the Chinese government treats Muslims horribly over there.
They treat a lot of ethnic minorities there fucking terribly, man. Not even just Muslims. They treat people in the western part of the country, like the southwestern part, where different minority groups are and everything. Yeah, they straight up government policy to keep those people down. Nobody out there, if you support American ideals, even social American ideals, you know what I mean? Freedom to all, everybody has a voice, all the typical shit that's fucking dumped out by Western companies and everything that they say they support.
That they don't.
They
do.
They do.
As long as it's something they like.
I always laugh where it's Blizzard easily is able to make their characters in their video games gay just as a coincidence after it becomes federally legal to do so. That's right. They're so progressive. They're so progressive. They're so making a fucking stance, right, man?
It's like that and that whole side is just, both sides really are super hypocritical, but that one is even more that Andy No guy.
Kind of.
He's a journalist. He's a gay guy. He photographed.
Oh, he's the guy that got beat up by the protesters.
They fucking beat the shit out of him. Yeah. Because nothing screams tolerant left and progressivism like beating up a gay Asian guy for taking pictures of you. Mm-hmm. Very progressive.
Yeah. So. This is serious. Even though it's just about video games or about basketball, even if you don't give a shit about either of the two, this is serious consequences in the future. It's only not a big deal until it starts affecting a company that you like. Say you're a dude that just likes cars or something like that, and fucking General Motors starts putting the Chinese fucking star on their cars now because China says if they don't, they'll not let them do products in China. You know what I mean? Would you like that?
No, it's like you said, man. It's about way more than video games and basketball.
It goes way further than that. It's about a foreign government and a foreign government changing companies in America's policies on stuff. More so than our government. And this is something that you can start caring about, even if you're against governments interfering with business or more for tight control of businesses and everything. This is a foreign power that actively goes against everything Western ideals,
right?
Freedom of speech, for tolerance of people, tolerance of different opinions and everything. Yeah, it completely goes against Western ideals on that. In their how they run, they say it themselves.
Right. So
it's bigger than just video games and basketball. It's bigger than that.
it's a fucking disease over there. I don't like.
It's something that would be bigger, I think, if it wasn't just about like tiny, like
niche markets,
niche like
niche
hobbies.
markets.
You know what I mean?
Basketball.
Imagine if it was like a really big company. Imagine if it was like the NFL or something, man. Like the NFL is way bigger, I think, than the NBA. Would you say? Maybe.
I think it's even. I think the markets are really weird. The NBA has done more to expand overseas than the NFL has, which is why they're more concerned about China.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL, so like the NBA, has done a lot more to pander toward millennials and Gen Z, and even younger millennials and Gen Z. That is because Gen Z, the knock on Gen Z is they're not fans of teams, they're fans of players.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why you see Kyrie Irving and Pat Mahomes. This kid was a fucking Seahawks fan 3 years ago. Now he's a Chiefs fan. They follow players, not teams. So that's...
Well, you can't really... I don't know if that's necessarily a Gen Z thing. I can certainly remember being a kid and like all these people being like big Kurt Warner fans.
Peyton Manning was the word. Peyton Manning and LeBron fucking ruined it.
Yeah, Michael Jordan. You remember that's all like that's not even like millennials. That's like the Gen Z guy or the Gen Xers. Yeah, all the fucking Michael Jordan people that just like were Bulls fans because it's Michael Jordan. Like,
well, and there were people that dick rode Peyton Manning everywhere he went.
Yeah,
but
exactly, man. There's people that still dick ride Peyton Manning, dude.
You know who else dick rode him? Was that girl? Never mind.
I don't really know about those.
You never heard about
those old controversies like that. No, because I didn't really start following sports too much until I was like maybe 10 years ago.
Peyton Manning. This was I shouldn't laugh about it. This wasn't like an Antonio Brown thing, or as he said, she said. Like his own teammates saw him do it. And,
Peyton Manning was he doing the elite thing of forcing himself onto some little
in a way
little lady
in college? He had a trainer who was looking at him, and while she was like looking at something like a leg injury, she was looking at something. He popped his nuts out of his underwear and dropped them in her face.
That's terrible. It's funny, but it's terrible.
And then it was her.
It's funny because it's terrible.
Who had like leaked the story through her by proxy.
Yeah.
He sent people to their house to like intimidate them.
Damn, Peyton Manning did?
The Manning family. Damn. Yeah. So I mean, Peyton Manning, he's not the fucking nationwide Papa John's, golden boy that we all think. There's only one flawless player in NFL history, and his name's Tom Brady. Actually, no, his name's probably Tim Tebow, but
man, that's a stretch just because he's like
he was a garbage quarterback.
He only did like 2 years in the NFL.
Let's be honest.
He's not really a franchise guy.
Let's be honest, though. If you wanted your kid to base their life off any NFL player, it'd probably be Tim Tebow.
I don't know. Who's the one safety that overcame cancer? Was that Eric Berry?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want my kid to have cancer.
Yeah, but he overcame it. That's one of those good old. There's plenty of like good stories in the NFL.
But I mean, as far as like being a good guy, though.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of stories like that.
There's a lot of good guys in the NFL.
Yeah, look at like
Matt Slater is one of them.
Yeah, the guy from the Texans, JJ Watt.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
There's lots of them.
Yeah,
it's the dirt bags like Antonio Brown that make the stories.
Yeah, exactly.
But who are some other ones?
Good guys or bad guys?
Good guys. Ben Watson. Ben Watson's the one that does like all the stuff for like underprivileged families and stuff. And
I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. There's so many fucking people.
Kaepernick.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that Nike. Hey,
Russell
there you go.
Wilson,
Russell Wilson's
really
a good guy.
Yeah,
100%. There's a fucking company that's up China's ass.
Nike.
Yeah,
that's why LeBron won't say anything.
Yeah, I know.
LeBron. Here's the thing, though, and this is what I think with LeBron. Back to the China thing, is LeBron has no problem speaking out on police brutality, Black Lives Matter, speaking out against Trump, because that can make him money. That's
probably more people care about that stuff too, because it's just within America. Right. Like I can understand people not giving a shit about what bad things going on in China,
but
because it doesn't affect them.
But if he speaks out against Nike or against China, well, where does Nike have all their sweatshops?
It's like one of those things where you can only
it's going to cost him money.
Well, you can only like focus. You gotta have like focus. You can't just improve everything in the world all at once.
Right.
But my thing about China is like even 100%. Like I don't want to be a fucking guy that just was like standing on a soapbox like, oh, China should do this, because like I fucking hate it when people from other countries start saying their 10 cents on like American politics. You know what I mean?
Agree.
So like I like China, like yeah, it sucks that they're fucking doing that stuff. I don't like what they do, but like at the end of the day, it's China. It's not really affecting me 100%. But when it starts like affecting American companies that like affect my day to day, because I love like Blizzard products. Like you love the NBA, man.
Right.
When that kind of shit starts to affect people here, that's when it starts actually like people should start caring about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But
there's one thing that pisses me off more. There's one thing or nothing that pisses me off more, I would say, than somebody from fucking England or something like that standing on a soapbox.
And your guns.
Yeah, dude. I'm just like,
bitch, the last time you tried to take our guns, we fucked your ass up. Shut the fuck up. Sit down. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Dude, I had a bit in my stand-up about that. Remember that? Or were you not in there for that one?
Yeah, I remember that.
I said it was something like
1776.
Yeah, it's like first off, your opinion hasn't mattered since 1776. Second off, if everyone in England is as insufferable as you, maybe you need a few school shootings.
I don't know about that one. That's a little stanky for me, man.
That's my stand-up act, though. If you guys want to see me, you can see me October 19th.
That's why I try not to say too much stuff about Brexit, man, because that's English politics. Like, I'm sure there would.
With Sargon,
I'm sure.
That's his business.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sargon was an Englishman that cares a lot about it. Yeah, if we were sitting here, like English people would be so annoyed by us sitting here going talking about Brexit. Yeah, I just did like we're just like, oh, Brexit. People in England would be like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're not English.
Or if we like told them to stop gang raping each other, they would probably that's a national tradition over here.
It's not really our like place to speak about it, I guess. I mean, like we can, but like somebody who's from England, like Sargon, talking about it is got a little more weight to the punch. Right. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
Yeah.
We should try to get Count Dankula on here too.
Yeah, we should see.
He was the other one they shut down.
That was a while ago too. I'd like to talk to Sargon too and kind of see where they're sitting at over there.
He's probably super busy. I wonder how his campaign's going.
I know, right?
I hope he wins. I don't think he will, but I hope he does. Like,
I always like when smaller people win. Regardless of their politics.
Sargon being nominated for
Unless
that.
It's OAC.
Right, AOC. Right,
I mean,
then we want to crush her. But Sargon being nominated for that party over here, because they're the UKIP party, from what I've read, is not like a major party in England.
It'd be like the Libertarian Party.
Right,
here.
so it would be like, who's an edgelord? Daniel Tosh winning a Senate nomination for the Libertarian Party, or the Green Party, or somebody like that.
That'd be fucking fun. I could see like Daniel Tosh is kind of a lefty too. So
is he?
Yeah,
he never really talks about it.
He is, man. He's like a lefty guy. Yeah,
even
even though he says like fucked up stuff all the time.
So who's more center? Like Dave Chappelle, probably. Or Dave Chappelle's even kind of lefty too.
Yeah.
Bill Burr's kind of lefty.
There's a lot of lefty.
Dave Smith.
Yeah. Well, not a lot of people know who Dave Smith is.
Dave Smith. A lot of people know who Legion of Skanks is, though. And
that's true.
They, if they know who Legion of Skanks is, they've heard
maybe
Dave
like
Smith.
Jerry. No, I was gonna say like edgelords. Jerry Seinfeld's not an edgelord, but
there aren't enough edgelords anymore. People have ruined that. They've taken it away.
Comedy is dead in America, and the media killed it.
Right. It's and this is interesting, and I don't care about the party thing with it or anything, but they had a debate at. Do you know what the Soho Forum is?
No.
They'll debate. They have like all kinds of shit. They were going to have Andrew.
Is it a forum in Soho?
Yeah, basically. It's they'll have political debates there. They'll have like people, like big name people will come on and talk about, two totally different sides, like Bill Kristol and someone who's a non-interventionist to talk about warfare and stuff like that, foreign intervention. They were going to have Andrew Yang come on to talk about UBI, but he backed out when he found out who he was going to debate against, which was a guy who wrote a book completely tearing apart Universal Basic Income from Ireland.
Who was it?
I don't remember his name, but I remember reading about it.
He got a little weak in the pants.
He had booked this like 4 months out, and then was like, "Oh, there's scheduling issues." Okay, it's like, the scheduling issue was you got scared and bounced.
I don't think Andrew Yang's a bad guy. I just don't really like the UBI. I have like conflict with it because like where he's coming from with that idea, I can kind of get behind. Like, He's like, yeah, these companies are gonna like automate, and their people aren't gonna get the money like companies are, and like companies are not your friends. Like companies are not anybody's friend other than the CEOs and the people like the high ups in the companies. So like I can agree with that to that point. It's like well then what's the what's the freaking solution going to be for it? It's like, well, I don't know, man. We got to talk about it more.
UBI is a solution. I don't think it's sustainable.
I don't think so either.
Like you can do UBI, but you need to completely cut welfare off.
Yeah,
and disability and WIC. And there's
but the thing is too is like with economics, it doesn't take economics into account where like everything will just get more expensive.
Exactly. Like if I'm your landlord and I find out that you're guaranteed to get another $1,000 a month, I'll raise your rent probably $800 a month.
Yeah, something like
that. I won't do a full $1,000, maybe $600 to $800 a month though, because I know you have more money.
I don't know.
You're gonna have to spend more. That's gonna have to account for the other price shifts.
I don't know if the only way you could do UBI is if like the government controlled all the real estate, which I wouldn't want that either. No. That would be terrible. You'd be like the Soviet Union.
You have price controls, and that just has never worked.
There's some government controlled real estate programs that work in like really small countries. I think
I'm sure Switzerland has
them. No, there's the one I can think of off the top of my head is it's like a Southeast Asian country where they basically like the government has all the like housing and all the and it's not like it is in America where all the government housing is all just slums and stuff. Like they actually have like really successful government housing and everything there. Yeah, and then basically everybody there's like hardly any homeless people there because like people have like home, or rather there's like hardly any like ghettos.
And you guys know how we feel about the homeless.
Yeah, but it's like a small country. You know what I mean? Like it's some like Burma or not Burma, like something like
Burma. Burma is war. There's actually a ton of Burmese refugees here.
Yeah,
because they commit genocide against the Karen people.
Oh,
there's
yeah,
that's true. There's a bunch in Nebraska, in Lincoln and Omaha. So
it's some little country like not the Philippines, but like in that area that has a really successful government housing program.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know if you could do that in America, man. We're too big. Like, we have too much like parts where it's really wealthy, and then too many parts where like
Detroit.
Like parts where like the wealth inequality is like this in America, man. It's like fucking ridiculous down here. But
that's so. To my point, though, we just trashed UBI. But to my point, they had a debate. With the chairman of the Libertarian Party and Dave Smith, the chair. Now, this is interesting because the chair, fuck the whole political party thing. That's not why I cared to see it.
Yeah.
You had a lawyer debating a comedian, and I think the witty snapbacks were fucking awesome. And it was like, just like
what were they
people
debating about?
They were debating about whether or not the Libertarian Party should like go for more votes or try to spread a message. So like sell out and nominate people that don't hold that message.
Yeah.
Versus try to spread a hardline message.
What was Dave Smith saying?
Smith was Dave Smith was the one that wanted to send the hardline message versus winning votes.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool to see
Macon's down there.
My dog is so weird. It was cool to see a lawyer debate a stand-up comic. That was
stand-up comics are usually pretty smart for the most part.
Pretty quick. Well, they have to because they have to deal with hecklers on stage.
Well, they have to have like legitimate comments on like society and social issues and everything. So like a lot of them are really well thought out. And Dave Chappelle is like a really smart guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
People wanted him to run for president. I
don't know if I'd want to see Dave Chappelle run for president, man.
Okay.
Like, just
so back to what I said. We were talking about edgy right-wing comedians everyone knows. Owen Benjamin. That Sargon would be like Owen Benjamin getting nominated for Senate.
Do a lot of people know Owen Benjamin?
He's pretty famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
He drove his career into the ground, so we probably could actually get him on our show now.
Yeah, at this point here.
Actually, I have a friend who has his number. I should try and get a hold of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually now he flaked out on their show, so never mind. But yeah, he's because he drove his career into the ground, and he was talking on he was drunk on a live stream talking about how Hitler had good points and stuff like that, and he wasn't joking.
Christ.
So yeah, that's I don't know if we'll be having Owen Benjamin on here in the future.
Probably not, man. I think that's about time too. We've been going about an hour,
53 minutes or so.
All right.
We didn't plug any of our shit, so make sure you go like us on Facebook.
You guys know all the plugs. Yeah, maybe
they're new.
Going to the Redbubble too, going to the YouTube,
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, make sure you guys give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Dude, like giving us the 5 stars and the good comments and everything really helps us out.
It does, because it helps us with the algorithm. We're now we have been for a while then, because there was another podcast called Bread and Circuses. We passed them. Fuck those guys.
Hell yeah.
Fuck you, other podcasts.
I didn't even know. If I would have known that there was another Bread and Circuses, we might have tried to do something a little not like that.
They aren't as active as we are.
That's cool.
So yeah, but
we're growing. That's for sure.
We're growing. Our weekly listens are up. We're not going to spread our analytics with you guys, but our weekly listens are up.
And that's thanks to you guys.
Episode to episode base doesn't necessarily do as well as it did right after we had Sargon on, but we knew we were going to dip.
That's Sargon. But that's thanks to you guys. We really do thank you guys for following us and everything.
Tell your fucking friends about us.
Yeah.
If you have friends that are interested in shit like Joe Rogan and stuff like that.
Or being on the show. Yeah, tell them to be on the show if they got, they can talk for an hour about some couple topics or something.
Yeah,
so.
Don't come on here and shit the fucking bed.
We've had that happen before.
And it's no fun.
That was painful because we tried to keep a conversation going, but no, didn't happen.
Don't come on here and shit the bed. We want people that are left leaning to come on here because we don't want it to be a right wing. I guess Nick's more of a centrist.
Yeah,
more of an ANCAP.
Well, when we talked to the guy running for Senate here on the Democrat Party, that was a great discussion, man.
Yeah, that was hopefully we can have him back on soon too.
That'd be cool.
So, Chris Janisek, go check him out. Other than that, you got anything else to add?
Go Eagles. Fuck the Cowboys. Cowboys are gonna win the Jets today, so it's fine.
If the Cowboys don't beat the Jets, I'm gonna fucking laugh my ass off.
I would too.
All right,
peace, deuces, boys.
The fuck out, bitches.